there's a lot of factors that you got to consider if you're a beginning deer hunter and you haven't had a lot of success. Some of the tips I'd like to share with you are about scent. Now, there's all kind of products on the market relating to scent and how to cover your scent, what you should use, and the cost of them. A lot of it is outrageous. Honestly, there's only two products that I'll buy from the store, and that is Wildlife Research Institute has come out with a soap that's unscented. I would recommend that you pick up a bar of that, and also they've got the Wildlife Research Institute has also put out some underarm deodorant that's unscented as well. So what I normally do is the morning before the hunt is I'll jump in the shower, get up a little early, doesn't take long, about 15 minutes early is all you'll need to get up, get you a shower, use the unscented soap, and now you can buy the shampoo as well. I don't, but you can use the soap, and then when you're finished, finish up with some unscented Wildlife Research Institute. And I'm in no way affiliated with them, nor am I endorsing their products, but it is a good product. So consider that, because a deer's #1 defense is his smell. And once you have outwitted his sense of smell, you've already gained the upper hand on the deer. One thing I've learned over the years is that deer are very, very, very alert. Their senses are so much more keener than a human being. So if you want to bag deer, #1, you have to overcome the deer's sense of smell. So there's a few things that I like to do, and I'm going to explain to you why I do those things. #1, a deer, if I can smell soap, a deer can smell soap. And if I'm out in the middle of the woods in my hunting area and I've took a bath with, let's say, Coast soap, and I'm smelling like Coast, and I've got on Gillette deodorant, and just, you don't want to do that. #1, if you can smell it, a deer can smell it. So mask your scent as much as possible. I don't wash my clothes in laundry detergent. What I like to do is take my clothes. Most of your water has chlorine added to it, a bleaching agent that is used to kill the bacteria in the water. So that has a smell as well. But what I like to do, I don't use laundry detergent at all. I'll take baking soda, just a small box of baking soda, and put it in the wash with my clothes. That's the only thing I wash my clothes in. #1, it doesn't leave the smell of a detergent. And #2, it's very cheap versus what they try to sell you out at local retailers. So it's a very inexpensive way to wash your clothes and to leave them scent free. Let's see, the deodorants, the soaps. Another good idea, you don't want to do this if it's warm outside, but if it's cold, hunting season, no timer turned me on to this here in Kentucky. What you want to do is get you some vanilla cake flavoring, and take that imitation vanilla or vanilla extract, whichever one you prefer, and it's also very inexpensive. I think you can pick up a bottle for around $1 or $2 or something like that. So get you a bottle of vanilla flavoring and just put a little on your boots, onto the bottom of your boots and around the side of the sole. That way, when you're walking into the woods and you're rubbing up against vegetation, you're not leaving any kind of human scent behind. And trust me, rubber boots do leave a scent behind. Deer can track that, so be careful about that. So vanilla cake flavoring and baking soda, two very, very inexpensive ways for you as a hunter to mask your scent. Next thing I want to talk about is actually getting to where you're going to be hunting at. One thing that I've learned, and I'll put it to you in an example like this right here. If I'm sitting in my house, and let's say I'm in my computer room, and I'm sitting there and I've got my computer turned down, it's real quiet, and I'm doing whatever at my computer, and somebody comes walking across the floor. Now, if it's quiet in the house and you're in any room in your house, more than likely you're going to hear somebody walking across the floor. So you've got to think about it. When you're going out into the woods, you're going into the deer's home, his natural environment. He knows all the tricks to the trade. Another one of his senses is his sound. He can hear much more greater than what a human can hear, or the doe, buck, doesn't matter. Their senses are so much greater than yours. If you've noticed our big ears, you've ever seen a deer, been watching a deer and seen his ears stand straight up or cocked out a little bit, he's listening for sound. If you go into the woods and there's deer bedded down in the woods and it's quiet in the woods, nothing is moving around, and here you come in the woods and you're stomping, you're maybe not stomping, but you're walking and you're crunching leaves and sticks. This next tip I'm going to give you is going to help you be stealthy when you enter the woods. Now, it's something that's going to take you a little work, a little effort, a little time for you to do, but it's going to increase your chances of not only seeing deer, but also killing deer. So, a lot of times using the method I'm going to explain to you, I've walked up on deer while they have been eating out of a corn pile or whatever. Here in Kentucky, you're allowed to use corn piles, by the way. I don't use them anymore, but I used to when I first started deer hunting. And pretty much it's not because I don't believe that baiting deer is a good idea or a bad idea. It's just because I've gotten so much better at my skill. I no longer have to spend the money buying those types of feeds anymore. I just hunt the natural food supplies. So what I'd like to explain to you is a method that I use. And what I normally do is I'll get a rake, and from the point that I enter the woods until the point where my actual stand setup is I will completely rake a trail through the woods. This time of year the leaves have pretty much all fallen to the ground. It's the end of October here in Kentucky, first part of November. Still going to be some leaves to fall, but not very many. The majority are gone. So where I go into the woods, I will rake the trail down completely to the dirt with nothing else laying in that trail. No sticks, no acorns, no hickory nuts, anything. Just bare dirt on the trail. And I will rake that all the way, like I said, to where I'm going to be hunting at. Now, I went yesterday, and I'm going to show you guys some footage of it. I actually went and did this yesterday because I waited until the last storm come through to knock off the rest of the leaves. But I actually went and raked my trail yesterday to where I'm going to be hunting. And I do that every fall. And basically what you're doing is you're not allowing yourself to be heard as you're progressing through the woods on the way to your stand. If you've ever been deer hunting, it's so disappointing to do this, but you're walking through the woods, it's dark, you're on the way to your hunting spot, and you're stepping on limbs are breaking, you're stepping on leaves are crunching under your feet, you're slipping on nuts that's either on top of the ground or just beneath the leaves. So, I mean, there's so many things that you can do, little things to increase your chances. And I mean, I'm not going to tell you that it's easy, because it's not, but I think I went yesterday and spent about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours in the woods. Rake a while and then quit, stop and rest. And you're going to be surprised the effect that it has on your hunting. A lot of times you'll walk out your trail and you'll actually walk up on deer because you're walking on bare dirt rather than stepping on leaves and sticks. And remember that a deer's ears are alert, listening for those types of activities of anything moving through the woods. And if he can't hear you, then you've got the upper hand again, just like when you outwitted his sense of smell. Just like, it's basically the same concept. You're eliminating his ears from the equation, basically.